There's no reason it should take 4 years to escape the rat race like it did for me. Even though home prices are still moving upward despite the rising rates, times are certainly different now compared to when I started. But if I had to start investing in real estate all over again from scratch, I'd do this, what my private client JR is doing. So if you're thinking that you've missed your window, or you're balancing a full-time job, or you're raising a family and you're on a tight budget, or all of the above, and you're still looking for your big breakthrough in your real estate investing,
sounds like you're having a breakthrough.
You're gonna wanna listen to every word of this short interview with JR. Hey JR, thanks for hopping on to talk about your most recent deal, all while working a 9 to 5. And I just learned this, you only have 1 hour a day for your real estate. So thanks for being here. Before we talk about the deal, what challenges in your life were you dealing with just prior to you and I working together?
Well, if you want to say 9 to 5 is a challenge, that was a challenge. My family just bought a home. I wish I would have met you before I bought the home, but just bought a home, started growing my family. It's that same rut that everybody talks about, working check to check. And I thought, okay, hey, I'll move up the ranks and actually go into a city government entity. I'll be okay. I may be different from that, but it's still the same thing, check to check. And just wanted to get out of that rat race.
Mm-hmm. What would it mean to you when you do get out of the rat race?
Relief, time, and being with my kids more. That's the main goal, because like where I'm working at right now and where I live at, it's not too far a radius. So sometimes at lunchtime, I try to go home just so I get that extra time with them. My dad, he worked in the automotive field and I didn't see him too much and didn't want that.
You've been playing both right now in the meantime, the 9 to 5 and the real estate game. You've been playing it really effectively. What's been your secret sauce to making it work so well when others struggle so much? Do you have any idea?
I was struggling too in the beginning, but like just getting a game plan and stay consistent, trying to really squeeze everything productive in the cracks of my time. Even if I had to wake up earlier to skip trades and do all the stuff I need to do in preparation to my hour, where it's like go time, just really squeezing everything in there. And it's being consistent with that. Life happens. Somebody want to sleep in, or somebody when the alarm clock goes off, it's time to go to work instead of waking up earlier. But that happens to stay consistent. That's helped a lot. I can see results because if I stay consistent for like weeks on by, the inbound is greater.
You said that hour, that's go time. Do you have the same hour every day? And what happens in that hour?
So what my day looks like is I wake up and I'm doing all the stuff that's like in preparation. I'm list stacking from different softwares, and then I'm skip tracing and I'm getting everything set. Okay, I got my numbers, addresses, and all that stuff in the morning before work. And then I come to work, and then my lunch hour, it's like campaign time. Whichever one I choose to do it, I try to mix it up sometimes Monday through Friday. Sometimes Monday might be calling. And Tuesday might be, I'm just writing letters. Wednesday might be texting. I actually implemented my 2 nephews, part of my campaign too. I'm trying to integrate them in there, but that's what it looks like as far as go time and lunch hour. It's like production.
Right. We've been working together, I don't know, about a year now, I guess. And it started off kind of slow. But what was the turning point when you really started to think, hey, this could really work?
I think maybe it was my first deal. It's crazy that you guys think, because I think it was the weekend summit in Vegas. I went down there and you gave us a challenge like, hey, put yourself out there and write some stuff on social media. And I put, hey, I buy houses. It was within, I think it was like on a Saturday, and I got a response, and it happened so quick. I was just so excited. I think I bum rush your office or something like that. Like, hey, what I do now? So it works. And from that, of course it was on incubator, that particular deal. But when actually that deal closed, it put a light switch on like, hey, this works. So I tried a lot of things in life. I did the network marketing stuff, did everything under the sun, but like that, it's like, hey, this came out of nothing. This came off a post on social media.
Well, let's talk about that, because you've got a 9 to 5, you got a family, you're a new homeowner, you're on a budget when it comes to putting everything together. How have you made real estate investing accessible even on that, with all of those kind of financial limitations? How have you been able to manage the budget and get the results?
I just looked at what I was paying for before. I hate to say it, but a lot of it was on clothes, a lot of it was on entertainment, and just things that once you break it down, like, okay, this is what I'm spending, and you get that final total number, you're like, wow, like really? So you can cut back some of that because this not really needed, it's more like wanted. So I did that, and then I've started implementing that budget into my real estate. It's not a big budget, but it is a budget, and you can do it like with zero, or you can do it $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month.
So let's walk through the deal from this week. How did you find it?
So it was off of a mailing campaign yellow letter, ready, put it out there, and it was like off of a lien list. It was a stack list. I do maintenance on the side, and I was doing some maintenance, and my phone rang, and the guy just start pouring in all the information. Like, hey, I got your letter. You said you buy houses with any situation, any condition. Started pouring the information out to me. So I got all the information, and I set an appointment.
So you found the deal by mailing a yellow letter, handwritten ink. Did you do that yourself, or did you do a service?
No, I did it myself. With
Okay.
me and my 15-year-old daughter, I'm kind of implementing them. Yeah, we just writing letters handwritten.
I've always found that Mercedes letters we write the exact same thing on the letters, but she always gets a better response. I think that the girly cursive actually gets a better response.
My daughter, she puts like a smiley face at the bottom.
Perfect. Yes. They say that increases a waitress's tips too when they put that on there.
I heard about that. I heard that.
Yep. All right. So very simple, very basic, no magic there. Now you made the appointment, which is what you're supposed to do. And now you went to the property, and now kind of lead me through up from that point until you got the contract signed.
So the guy's situation was like him and his wife, they were out of city investors, and the property's in Oakland, California. And that's my market, San Francisco, Oakland Bay Area market. Property's in Oakland. They invested into it, and they put, money into the renovation, everything. But the only thing they didn't do was they made it a 2-1, but they made it a 4-2 bedroom, four bedrooms and 2 baths. The contractor they hired, they didn't pull any permits. So all the renovation that he did add on wasn't permitted by the city. So they had renters in there and everything. And about a year, but when it came time to sell it, they put it on the market. They got the renters out. They put it on the market. FHA buyer, a person that's going to want to live in there, did their inspections to loan the money to the person. They said, hey, this is not a 2-1. This is actually a 4-2. We can't even lend you the money on this. So when that happened, the sellers, what they did, they would correct everything. So they went to the city to try to correct it. The city gave them instructions what to do in a timeline. They didn't satisfy that timeline, so city dinged them with a lien. So that was the stress for the seller. Initially, I was going in as a cash offer, and then I got the contract signed. I walked the property, talked with the seller. He explained everything I just did. And after that, I was thinking, okay, this could be a cash offer. So I offered him a cash offer, and he signed the agreement. But when we put it out in the market, what he owed on the mortgage, cash investors, they needed to come in lower than that. So it turned out it couldn't be, a cash offer because he owed an X amount of money. But cash buyers, they need to be at this point to make it an actual deal. So that was a long period of time. And then I think that's when I asked you for your help, and you assisted me on getting it into a creative deal where we can do a buy subject to. And we got it under contract with that. And it's still like cash buyers like, no, I don't want to deal with the city because the city has a bad reputation of just making it harder for people. But I thought about it, like, instead of marketing it out to cash buyers, let's market out to people that's going to actually live in it,
Yeah.
And that's how I actually got the deal. I started marketing to people that's going to be homestead buyers. And that actually got me over the finish line with that.
Fantastic. All right, cool. So how did you market to them? What was your strategy there?
I didn't want to put it on, I should say MLS, like Zillows and the Redfins. I didn't want to do that. So I did, again, social media. Like I went to Facebook, so I went to the Craigslist, and then actually I JV with somebody. They were pushing it out to their network, and it was doing the same thing, like through Facebook Marketplace. Hey, you want to buy this? Putting that out there that, hey, you want to live in this because of XYZ is going on with this property. So this will be a good maybe house hack for someone. And later on the line, they can take care of that stuff with the city. So that's how we got a homestead buyer.
They took ownership subject to.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Perfect. So now it's between them and the seller. They're making payments on the existing mortgage. Did they pay anything additional to the seller?
The seller, I guess he got a reality check like, hey, the only way I can get rid of this is almost giving it away to somebody. That kind of basically what it was. So the buyer came in, just the actual asking price is the remaining balance of the mortgage. So it was nothing to the seller. I assigned it to the buyer. So I put a fee in there for me for the due diligence I did in the deal. So no, it was just nothing to the seller.
That's amazing. Thank God he met you.
Yeah.
And this was a huge win for him to get this off his shoulders, but it's also a huge win for the buyer, right? They got to move in after just compensating you.
It beats any bank loan, any lender loan. It beats that like 100%, right?
Right? That's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank
What
you.
have you found to be the biggest surprise investing in real estate now that you got a year into it?
I would say how once you start really being consistent, it really is a simple business. And that's the surprising thing. Like it really is simple. Is if you stick to a certain thing it's a simple business. Like,
right. That's awesome. Because it is. You're absolutely right. And sometimes you just got to go through it to realize, wow, it is that simple, right? And you really can't do this without any money. Like once you have that epiphany, now all of a sudden you're a big advocate and a proponent of it. But before, well, let's go back to before. If you were to go back to the very beginning when we got started, what is some advice you'd give to yourself back then?
do it. Stop reading, stop YouTubing, stop being worried. Just do it. It's like, do what you're doing now, present, wake up early, prep yourself. But just that hour, just crunch time, do it.
After this year, if we were to go back then also, what was it that initially drew you to work with Epic?
I gotta give a lot of credit to my mother-in-law because we just have the same type of mindset, entrepreneur spirit, and she had a few investment properties, so I knew what she was doing, and I have like a few relatives that are agents, so I knew it from the fishbowl, looking outside. And then after the weekend, it's like, oh, I can actually be in the fishbowl, and I see I can actually do this.
What have been your 3 favorite things about working with Epic?
Communication. Like I know you hate it, but I can box you anytime. Hey, like I got a hurdle, and it's like, especially with this last deal, it was a lot of hurdles. I call it the hurdle house because it was just going over another week. You got over one, and here comes another one. But one, I can reach out to you, and also it's a community. You know, I'm in the process now of doing another deal with another student, so that community is there. And third, I would think just the education of it. You've been in this game for like a while, so it's if there's a question there's an answer right here, or there's something there that I can use to like, okay, I can get over the hurdle. This might be in the vault, or this might be in a YouTube you've done before, or a podcast, or there's something there. So it's just the resources. So the communication, the community, and the resources.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I get a joy out of talking to you because you're actually out there, and I can tell by your questions that you're actually doing it. And like, yeah, let's work through this thing together. So it's wide open for you. All right. Anytime that you want, you're never bothering me. So clearly you got your eyes on the prize. So 5 years from now, what's the dream scenario for your real estate portfolio and your day job now that you've seen this as a real possibility?
Well, 5 years, I guess to put it like in stages is like bringing my wife home. Like we just had a 1-year-old. Before that, we had a 2-year-old. Before that, we skipped and we had a 10-year-old. So she's actually working full time. She works in the education field. My wife helps me out where she can, bless her heart. And this is in stages, just taking myself away from the business. Structure, like I said earlier, my nephews are involved as far as the campaigning portion, but maybe like later on in life, maybe they could be more involved in acquisition. And I can just hire more in so I can step out some. Hire more boots in, I can step out some. And then eventually like completely step out, just put my business on autopilot. But the real estate will be the foundation because I love it. I'm growing to really love it a lot more. And I love doing it, like talking about it. So yeah, that's what I foresee in myself.
Love it. Can you finish this sentence for me? I almost didn't work with Epic because...
Didn't have a plane ticket. Yeah, I almost like did because like, hey, I was like, no, I'm not going to take the flight out there, but I'm really, really, truly glad that I did. It's just crazy because your headquarters is in Vegas, and like, if there was a party, I'll be on a flight just like that. But like when it comes to like investing in yourself, and I had that conversation with myself, like, hey, this investment in myself, and like, let me just do it. And I'm glad I did. Really glad I did.
I love that. So last question, if someone were on the fence about working with Epic, what would you tell them to tip the scales?
I would tell them those 3 things I just mentioned. You're going to have like the communication. You're going to have the community that's building, that's growing. And the thing about it, like the community is growing within the students. We're like open it up to where like now just helping each other. And the third thing, the resources are there. And I think those 3 things are really, really important when like you're brand new. Like you need that communication. You need some kind of like community where like you're not in it by yourself, and you need those resources that are available.
Super. Thanks for that. And thanks for, this is your power hour for work, and you cut a little bit of it in half to be with me. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, no problem. A lot of my uncles, they're like military guys, so they taught me how to eat fast anyway. So I just already ate my lunch.
Gosh, it's been 30 years, and I still am always the first one done.
Yeah, you too at home.
All right. JR, be good, and stay in touch, bud.
All right. Thanks a lot, Matt.